first, we have to establish that your doctor is misleading you. Your doctor is making you believe that they have an expertise in your autoimmune disease and that they can help you get better from it. To understand how your doctor is misleading you, we first have to define what is an autoimmune disease. This is going to show why and how they're misleading us. Now, an autoimmune disease is a condition in which the body's immune system becomes dysregulated. It's an immune system problem. And then it mistakenly attacks the very tissues and organs of the body that it was designed to protect. So right here, we're establishing the singular problem for all autoimmune diseases is the dysregulation of the immune system. Now, your doctor is misleading you because they are sending you to a specialist whose specialty is in the organ or tissue that dysregulated immune system is attacking. They're not sending you to a specialist that has an expertise in that dysregulated immune system. So what this looks like is if you have rheumatoid arthritis, you go see a rheumatologist. If you have Hashimoto's or Graves' disease, you see an endocrinologist. If you have ulcerative colitis, you see a gastroenterologist. That's a hard one for me. Eczema, you see a dermatologist. Multiple sclerosis, you see a neurologist. Lichen sclerosis, you see a gynecologist or a dermatologist. And if you have common variable immunodeficiency, another one of the autoimmune that I had, you see an immunologist. And you might be out there thinking, well, great, we just can see an immunologist. That's going to fix everything, right? Well, no, here's the problem. Even immunologists don't understand why the immune system dysregulates or how to solve it. So back to my first autoimmune disease, rheumatoid arthritis. So as you can imagine, I saw a rheumatologist. That's how I got diagnosed. The problem is that we're not told that these specialists that we see, they don't actually understand the autoimmune disease. I didn't know that. I was blind and I was naive. And here's how they're misleading us. They don't tell us that their treatment only treats the symptoms of the autoimmune disease. So for rheumatoid arthritis, that was that pain and inflammation in my joints and my hands. That it doesn't actually treat the true cause of autoimmune disease, which is the dysregulated immune system. The doctors don't tell us that their medication can never get us better and permanently heal the autoimmune disease. Our doctors do not tell us that the medication they prescribe will have to be lifelong. Then the best medication can do for autoimmune diseases is help us live with the symptoms of the autoimmune disease. Our doctors do not tell us that they are not working on the actual autoimmune disease, that they are only working on the symptoms. And most importantly, our doctors can't tell us why we got our autoimmune disease or how to heal it, because the specialists, these doctors and specialists, don't know. Not telling us this, they are misleading us. They are misleading us. So it brings me to the question, and again, from my own experience, why, when we have an autoimmune disease, why don't we question our doctors? Because if we did, we'd uncover their complete lack of understanding of autoimmune diseases, and we'd also discover the truth of their treatment. So from my experience, again, having 8 autoimmune diseases for a few decades there, that the specialists, their doctor frame is so strong, and in how they present themselves with their knowledge and their extreme confidence. For me, I was completely intimidated. From the moment I went into that waiting room and then into the office, emotionally, I shut down. I gave all my power away to them and to their system. I blindly put all of my trust in their hands and made myself silent. I was so scared on the inside in those appointments, only answering questions when I was asked. I mean, at that point, when we have an autoimmune disease, we are very weak and vulnerable. I remember just wondering deep down, what is so wrong with me? What is so wrong with my body? I felt at such a deficit and a hopelessness. I was so desperate. And in the rare case, I did have the courage to speak up or to ask a question, such as, medication side effects, or even something as simple as other treatments or alternative treatments to what they prescribed. I was immediately shut down and shamed, being told why their treatment was the right way. Over the years, I lost all of my nerve. Still remember how scary that felt year after year with more autoimmune diseases and getting more broken and quiet and empty on the inside. And I lost all of my ability to question. I didn't want to be the problem patient, who wants to be that person in the waiting room or in the office in there. So we go quiet. And me at that time, I was so desperate for help. And then what happens weeks later after I'm taking their treatment, their prescribed medication, and I'm not getting better, and most of the time I was experiencing some problematic side effects, I buried it. I shoved it down, and I blamed myself because they were the medical doctors. They were right, and I was wrong. They knew what healthy was and how to make people healthy, so I thought. And here I was very, very sick. And so as adults, we've never come to realize that Western medicine has no known cure for any autoimmune disease. Let that sink in. This is why they are called chronic illnesses, that we will have them for the rest of our life, and that there is no known cure. But here the specialists are, making themselves out to be the experts in our autoimmune diseases, using their knowledge of the intricacies of the body, throwing out these huge words to make us believe that they know. And it's all just one big show. They never tell us their own limitations. Specialists are so far away, and this is the truth, from the true root cause of autoimmune disease, that it's actually shocking. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. If you have an autoimmune disease or chronic illness, are frustrated with food diets, supplements, and medication, and are ready to permanently heal and no longer have your condition, I have two 13-week online self-guided educational programs, the Autoimmune Healing Program and the Chronic Illness Healing Program. Both programs teach you how to go beyond remission to permanently heal your chronic illness or autoimmune disease, leave behind your doctor's visits and symptom management, and to finally heal without supplements, medication, or food diets. This is the same journey I took and why I'm over 10 years completely healthy. My autoimmune diseases and chronic illnesses are permanently healed. You can find the application link for a complimentary course consultation below in the description of this video. And again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. I look forward to seeing you again soon.